So today we're going to have a look at a Photoshop tutorial. It's quite a challenging one. So if you're a beginner, don't worry if you don't get exactly this effect at the end of your attempt. Let's have a go and see if we can pick up some Photoshop skills as we go along. So this tutorial, we're going to be creating a kind of a ghostly Halloween type thing. And let's make a start. Step 1. Open the background stock, crop it, and take the center for this tutorial. So we're going to open this image and take the center part. So the image is up here somewhere. It's the background. There it is. We're going to copy that. We're going to go to Photoshop. We're going to go to File, New. OK. And Control V to paste. There we go. Now we're going to crop the middle bit. So I'm going to go to the crop tool and I'm going to crop this area here. Something like that. Maybe a little bit more. And let's crop that. If you right click on that, you should see a crop option somewhere there. So I've cropped it. This is what we've got at the moment. Let's just go back to the tutorial. Duplicate this part and flip horizontal. Well, okay. Let's go to the Layers panel. This is the layer. I'm going to right click on it to duplicate it. And then Edit, Transform, Flip Horizontal. There it is. And for some reason, I don't know why the tutorial wants us to do that, but we've flipped the image. So now we've got this bit here. Step 2. On the copy layer, create a selection for cloud and set the feather to be 50. So, whoops, let's see if we can get in there. This is the copy layer. This is the copy layer. And it's asking us to create a selection using a selection tool. I'm going to choose the lasso tool and set the feather to be 50 pixels. Well, mine already is, so that's fine. I'm just going to zoom in, Control plus on my keyboard, and so I can kind of see what I'm doing a little bit better. And I'm just going to select some of this cloud up here. So there's my selection. Make a selection on the copy layer. Yep. Right-click this selection, choose Layer via Copy, move it down. Okay. Whoops. There it is. Right-click, Layer via Copy, and then move it down. So we've got this bit of cloud here that we've copied. I'm just moving it down here. Add a layer mask and use a soft black brush to hide the rough edges. Well, do we have any rough edges? I guess we've got this line here. Can you see there? There's just a faint straight line. Anyway, let's do what it says. On this layer, we're going to create a layer mask, and you'll find the layer mask button here. This is the layer mask. So this is a layer mask here now. Now it's asking us to use a soft black brush. Well, there's black. Make sure that's black. Choose a brush. Go up to the settings. Let's just come up here a bit with my... Choose a brush and find the brush setting and just play with the hardness. This is hard. 100% is a hard brush. So if I start drawing here, it's very hard. But if I drop that hardness down, I can create a softer effect. I'll try and get rid of that line. just play with that a little bit. Something like that. If I do Control T on that layer, Control T, I can just kind of resize that a bit as well. Something like that. Control minus to zoom out and Control plus to zoom in. Okay, let's go back to the tutorial. Step 3. Open Forest. Use any tools you want to make a selection. So we're kind of going to make this selection here on this image. So let's go back up to the forest, open it, right click, copy. In Photoshop, I'm going to go to File, New, OK, and Control V to paste that forest in. Now then, let's make a selection. What's a good way of doing this? Let's use this lasso tool here, and we'll just select some of the forest, something like that. Right click, layer via copy. So I now have a selection here, and I'm going to drag that into my other image. That's not it, is it? Can I Control Z that? Where is it? I need to drag it into there, don't I? There we go. Brilliant. I'm not sure what version of Photoshop you're using, but you need to find a way to get this selection into our main composition. And let's go back to the tutorial. We've done that bit. Change the opacity to 20% and use a layer mask with a black brush to give it a soft and natural look. So we're going to kind of paste some of it away using a layer mask. So let's try and get this effect here. On this layer, which is layer 3 at the moment, change the opacity to 20%. There we go. Let's put it up into the corner. And let's add a layer mask, that layer mask trick again. And with a layer mask, you use a black brush. And using a black brush on a layer mask kind of helps you to delete some of the image. So I'm just going to softly kind of go around with my brush and just leave some trees in the corner, something like that. Theirs is a little bit different. Theirs is kind of slanting that way. Can we get that effect? On this layer, the tree layer, if I Control T, and then I can kind of rotate it, try and get the same effect as the tutorial, something like that. And then we've already erased some of it. Copy the forest from the original again and move it to the left of the picture. Change the opacity to 20%. Yep, so we're going to do the same thing again, but on this side of the composition. So let's go back to our trees. I'm just going to drag this back into my main composition. I'm going to stick it kind of over here. I'm going to change the opacity to 20%. And I'm going to make a layer mask on that layer. And I'm going to use a soft black brush. Where's my brush? Make sure it's black and start to kind of hide some of this layer. And let's do that Control T trick again. Control T to transform the image, and let's put it kind of going this way. Enter. Brilliant. Not bad. Not bad. A little bit of progress on this tutorial. Right then. This time, step 4, copy the right side of the stock and place it at the top center. Change the opacity to 15% and resize it. So it's kind of going to go into this middle area here. And then there's another one, okay? And we're going to get this effect. So hopefully we've figured out how to do some of this now. Where's the original? Did I? Oh dear. I've taken away the original, haven't I? What am I going to do now? Oh, dear me. No choice. I've wrecked the original. That's my own fault. So I'm going to go back up to the files, get the forest again. Where is it? Oh dear, what a pain. Copy it. Get it back into here. Control V. Use my selection tool to get this little bit that they're recommending. Make a copy of that and drag it into my main composition. Brilliant. Okay, so I've got that. I'm going to resize it, make it a bit smaller. I'm going to stick it up here. I'm going to change the opacity of that down to about 15%, 20%. That'll do. That's fine. It doesn't have to be the same as the tutorial. I'm going to make a layer mask again and use a soft black brush. Black brush just to remove some of this junk so we can get a more natural feel. Something like that. Control T. Just gonna stick it over there. Okay. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to right click on that and duplicate it. So now I've got the same layer again. So now I can just play with this duplicate. Control T. I'm going to flip it over. Flip it over, and we'll use that soft black brush again just to get rid of some of this stuff. Oh, is that any good? Not sure. I'll undo that. Control Alt Z, 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 Z. Actually, that's not bad. So that's really where we're going to stop today for the first part of this tutorial. The next steps in the tutorial show you where is this going. This is where we've got to at the moment. Lots of layer masking. Do you get that idea? That's a little skill that we can work on. Step 5 is to get a gravestone in there. Okay? So if you want to carry on, see if you can figure out how to get a gravestone into your composition. And actually we're going to be duplicating those graves and messing around with them. Okay.